for different reasons, you might become a landlord by default. Landlords become landlords by default if they suddenly realise that their job is being relocated and they don't want to sell their house and they don't want to leave it empty, so they choose to let it. You might inherit a property that you don't choose to sell. It's so important that you do go into it knowing what you need to be responsible for, because there's a lot of regulations now with regards to being a landlord. So it's important that you're aware of everything that you're responsible for doing, whether it be electricity checks or gas safety checks or how the property should be presented, EPCs, etc. You obviously want to go into it knowing that you're not going to lose money by doing it. A lot of people immediately look at it and go, I can rent my house out for this amount of money. But the reality is there's going to be tax implications. So it's so important that you get all your tax advice before you actually go through the process of renting the property. It's got to align with your long-term plan as well. If your plan is to rent a property for a period of time and then you're going to move back into it, then you want to understand what kind of tenant you need to get in there to do that, because it's going to be available again for yourself in a set period of time. Working out what your ultimate goals are and why you're doing it is really important. If you're going into it intentionally, so you're a buy-to-let investor and you've decided, you want to invest in property so you can have a pension from it in the future, an additional income, then again, you consider all those things, but you've also got to not just look at what rent can I get and what is the gross yield going to be. You've got to look at the net yield. You've got to be looking at what are the costs of maintenance in that building, the utilities if you're responsible for them, service charges, what level is the lease when you purchase it. And knowing all of that information during your process of purchasing is so important, because without all the facts, you could go in and it could be a bad investment.